Hi, sixth grade. Mr. Silva here. Thank you for joining me again. I'm always happy to hear when you join me for my weekly videos. We are going to continue with National Career Development Month, and so I'm going to finish out um, discussing the different types of work that I started discussing with you last time. And I also made sure to try to tell you what it takes to get to those jobs, like what kind of education you have to complete, because that can be different for every job. Whether you have to at least finish high school, whether you have to finish a 2-year college degree or a 4-year college degree, or even go beyond that and get a master's degree or a doctorate degree. And that's kind of like the order that it takes for those different types of education that I just mentioned. So I want to make sure we get through some different types of work and remind you that the reason that I was talking about planets is I was just trying to separate and emphasize how different types of work can fall within these different planets, because different types of work uses different skills, different abilities, and different interests, because ideally we go into an occupation or a career where we use our abilities and we use our interests and our strengths. So a lot of those things, even if you feel like, for example, you would love to be a veterinarian, but right now you're not that great at science, that doesn't mean that you can't get there one day. It just means that would be a really good place for you to focus now so that it can move you in that direction, because you will need to focus a lot on different types of science in order to go into that type of work. All right, so just wanted to make sure you understood why we talked about the different planets. So let's pick up where we were last time. And I was going to talk about planet A, which is the artistic planet. These are for the creators. So people that like creative activities, they don't necessarily like a lot of structure. And this could be creativity with like drama, art, music, or even language. So actors, of course, are very artistic. And remember, acting is not just on TV for shows and movies. It can also be people that play parts in stage productions or like theater, that really like dancing, singing, lots of different ways to participate in drama. So a college degree is not necessarily required, but depending on the type of actor you become or what you go into, some will go to acting school. Some people will go to college and major in theater, or even if people go into plays or theater that involves a lot of dancing and singing, then they can go to schools where they get to focus on music or dancing. So also on the artistic planet, we have writers and authors. So it's not just people that write books, it could be people write poetry, and all of those movies and shows that you probably watch, somebody has to write the whole script for that before it can even turn into anything. So behind the scenes, there are a lot of writers and authors. So if you're really into that, then that would be something really interesting for you to think of pursuing. Usually it would require at least a bachelor's degree, where people would study literature or English so that they can really perfect their writing skills. Painters, so of course people that paint murals, like entire walls, or maybe they just paint their own pieces and then they sell their artwork, and that's their occupation. This usually would require some kind of degree, because after high school, going to art school to really perfect and work on your art skills. So we had dancers, singers. Like I said before, people don't necessarily go to college for that, but there are definitely a lot of options, and it's a really good idea. There's also editors. So anytime that a magazine goes out, or different things for publication, there has to be someone behind the scenes that chooses what's most important to come out in that magazine. And an editor would usually require at least a bachelor's degree, a 4-year college degree. TV reporters, so people that gather the facts and they have to decide what should go on the news. This could be related to, like right now, politics with the election, right? Or it could even be sports or other stories. Usually we get a variety of stories on the news, and it involves not only reporting on the news, but taking notes. They have to really look at a story and decide what should be included, what shouldn't be included, how long they should spend, because sometimes on the news they'll talk about a story for 1 or 2 minutes, or sometimes they'll talk about it for 4 or 5 minutes, which is a huge difference. People that go on to news reporting typically need at least a bachelor's degree, a 4-year college degree. Architects. So anytime before a building can even start, an architect has to plan and design the whole structure. And that could be for homes, office buildings, theaters, and more. And they use a lot of math and engineering that they learn. And so that's why you do need at least a bachelor's degree for this job, a 4-year college degree. Interior designers, so they might work alongside architects, but they focus more on the inside of the building and planning the design and the furniture, and they'll like draw it out with sketches and show their designs to their clients. And this requires at least a bachelor's degree, a 4-year college degree. Hairdressers, lots of artistic talent needed, right? To be able to create a hairstyle that clients will love, and they need their clients to keep coming back for haircuts, right? Usually a hairdresser, it doesn't require a college degree. You go to a special school called cosmetology school, and you get your license to cut hair, to be a hairdresser. So next we're going to talk about Planet S, the social planet. These are the helpers. So these are people that really like informing others, teaching, and helping other people. They really like just working with other people. So teachers is a prime example of work that falls within Planet S, the social planet. So you know about teachers, definitely involves a lot of interaction with other people, not just with you as students, but other teachers and other people that work at the schools. A teacher needs to go to college. You have to go to college to become a teacher. And then you get an additional certification, which is called a credential. It's a teaching credential. And depending on how you do that, is how much time it takes, but it's at least another year to complete that. Counselors, so my job falls within this planet, social planet. There's lots of various responsibilities, but this job does require, so let me back up. We, as a counselor, help with different educational issues. So it could be if you're struggling, not feeling well, if things are going on at home or at school that are affecting how well you can do in school, but also thinking about as you get older, when you have counselors in middle and high school, it'll be talking more about academics and what kind of careers you might want to pursue, and then what type of college might be good for you to go to, and what classes you should take in high school that will best prepare you for that college. This requires a master's degree, so that means a 4-year bachelor's degree, and then another 2 years to get a master's degree. Nurses fall within this planet. So nurses have a lot of time with patients. You definitely have to be a social person. And they look a lot at the health problems and the needs of patients. They have to record a lot of information and just monitor patients. A nurse, if you're interested in going into the medical field, but maybe not a doctor, or maybe not in school for as long as doctors have to be in school, since that's a long time, a nurse is a really great area to consider. It requires a 4-year bachelor's degree, so a 4-year college degree. Waiters and waitresses fall within the social planet. So of course, you want your food to taste good, you want someone to take care of you when you go to a restaurant, but you also want your waiter to be really social and friendly with you, right? So you enjoy the whole experience. This does not require a college degree, and some people choose to do this more of a job while they're in college so that they can make extra money. So preschool workers or childcare workers, people that like to work with younger kids that are under 5, this would require some college. So finishing high school and taking specific classes where you can be a childcare worker. All right, so one more we're going to talk about, dental hygienist. This falls under the social planet. So people that I'm sure you've seen a dental hygienist. They clean your teeth and they educate you on how to take care of your teeth, help with taking x-rays. A dental hygienist requires a specific course to become a dental hygienist that you take after high school. So usually what that's called is an associate's degree. So it can take around 2 years, which is really neat for this job because it makes good money and you don't have to go to college for that long. So people that really like things to be clean and they like to see the result of their work, so seeing someone's teeth when they first come in and then cleaning them, if you think you'd be really satisfied by something like that, this could be a really cool job for you to look into. So let's talk about planet E, the enterprising planet. This is for people that like to be leaders. They like to influence other people, but it's a lot about leadership ability. So the best example of jobs that fall within this planet is work within politics. So we all know there's a big election going on. This is all areas of politics because that's definitely a leadership role. Lots of decisions have to be made. You have to consult with lots of different people that are within politics and outside of politics. So that starts with the president all the way down to the governor, which each state has its own governor, and then down to the mayor within a city. So San Diego has its own mayor. We're just working on electing a new one. And then even in our smaller communities, we have representatives. So lots of different areas of government. It's not in politics, it's not just the president. There's a lot of other people involved. And that type of work falls within the enterprising planet. And then we have the conventional planet. These are the organizers, people that really use their organizational skills to organize things or just information. So librarians are a really good example because they have to, they could work in schools, they could work in museums, they could work in public libraries. And if you've noticed, there's a lot of books at the public library, right? So the librarian needs to know where all the books that are available and where to find them. And they have to organize them in a way where you could easily find the book that's needed. So it involves lots of organizational skills to manage a library. Also, anyone that does bookkeeping or accountants. So if you've heard of people in your family saying they have to do their taxes, some people get help from an accountant. And these people they have to organize all the different paperwork that's involved for filing your taxes and keep records of all money that people have in different accounts. An accountant has to at least go to college and get a bachelor's degree, which is a 4-year college degree. So there's also secretaries, people that keep a place running. So a lot of these jobs we've talked about need someone to help manage their schedules and make appointments for them, because if they're seeing patients all day or working with other people, they don't have time to also make all those appointments. So it's really important that they have someone that works with them that's really organized. So a college degree is not necessarily required to be a secretary, but it's becoming more common to need a college degree for jobs like this. Okay, so the last one I'm going to talk to you about are pharmacy technicians. So this is not a pharmacist, it's someone that works alongside a pharmacist and helps with the extra tasks. So it doesn't require as much schooling or as much education as a pharmacist does, but still being able to prepare medications with a pharmacist there with you, overseeing what you're doing. They measure the medication, count it out, label it, help customers that come in to pick up their medication. And this would require extra training after high school. All right, well, that is all I'm going to share with you today. I know I have talked to you about lots of different types of jobs or work, right? Careers, things that people choose to do for a long portion of their life or for the rest of their life. Next time you see me, I'm going to teach you how to complete what's called an interest profiler. And with that, you will be able to explore more, talk about within the profiler. It's a really quick survey and it asks for your likes and your dislikes. And then it matches you with what types of jobs you might be good at or you might be interested in. And you can explore that a little bit more. Okay, so I hope you're looking forward to that. I know I am. I'm going to teach you how to do that next time. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week. Thanks.